Welcome back everyone. Today we're in the Giants editor and I'm Joel and we're on the 10.0.7 version for Farming Simulator 25. Today we are going to try to get some work done and show you how to add the train to your map. Basically, after you get all your buildings in and all your train tracks laid, which you'll have to look back at the other videos for the train track. I showed how to lay that and gave you some examples. I've showed these buildings being put in, so go check those out. I don't know if I showed this one getting put in. I can't remember. Potentially I did. I don't know. If I didn't, it's pretty similar to all the others. You go into the main game map and you can export selection with files on that building. You can see how it selected all that. And you would just basically click it. It'll say train station place. And then you can just hit file, export selection with files. And then you would go to your map wherever it is. So just go follow the path to your map. Mine's in Documents, My Games, FS25, Mods, and there's the map name. And you just go through all those folders to here. Then you would make a new folder and title it Train Station _ Place. Then you would open that new folder that you just made, like this one. You'd open the folder you just made, and then you will type in this box, because this won't be here yet, train station place. Do it the same way, preferably for beginners. You don't have to call it that, but it's just for knowing what you're doing, like remembering that that's what it was. And then once you type it, hit save, and then yes and yes, and it'll bring it into your file so that you can then import it into the game. So once you hit save and yes, then I'm just gonna hit cancel. You won't hit cancel. So then you would hit file, import, then you would go right, it'll put you right back to that place you just put that i3D. Potentially, if you just did it, then you would just click that i3D and open. Or if it don't put you there, go back to the folder you made, which in this case was this one. I would click that, then click open, and it would bring it in. And then once it's in, you just put it where you want it. Control B as in boy, left mouse click, and then move it around to where you want it till it's situated. Mold your ground however you need to, because this has got a little bit of weirdness, so. And then of course, if it has anything, I can't even remember, I'd have to look in my file, it may or may not. If it had anything to do with XML, you have to add it. I don't even think this, I can't remember, I don't think this one did, but if it did, you have to do it. The placeable is the store item if it needs it. You just have to look in the XML. And you'll see in my XML if it's there whenever I go in there. But anyway, we're not going to focus on that really quickly. I'm not going to take up much time because I want to get into doing the train. Make sure you have all your buildings set up. So if you want this building, this is the Grain Barge Terminal 01 place. Okay? Any building that's near the track and near the water, you're going to need to make sure before you lay your track that you go ahead and size this up next to the water. Put you a boat in here, so click on this particular boat in the main game, the ship static vehicle barge 01, and bring it in and figure out by looking at it in the river bend what level the water needs to be at, like how far down. Like you'll be able to tell how much of it goes underwater. So just look at that. You'll be able to tell it from looking at river bend, and then put your ship at that level of your water. Make sure you're final with your water. Where you're going to put it. Now you don't have to make your water yet. You can see mine's not made yet. It's just the white plane just to show me the height. Okay, so pick that. Then make sure all your bridges will let that boat go under it. Your train bridges and your road bridges. Okay, because if you don't, then it wouldn't make any sense. Then that would be floating by and hit the bridge, or it won't reach. This pipe, you need to make sure that it's the right height, so that if you were to use it, which it doesn't function in the game, but just pretending, and for pretend's sake, you would know you wouldn't want this boat to be hitting this pipe. So you're going to want to put the building height, lift it up enough to where this will be above this. It's obviously still would have hit it because this stuff is taller than that, but so long as it's at least not touching the top of this. Okay, now technically the in-game one's slightly higher than that. But I had already did my track before I put this building in, and I didn't realize it. So I didn't realize it was going to tie me to both. And I didn't want to bring my water back any further either. So I was like, well, so I had to lift up my ground here, as you can see. See how I had to lift it up because it was not going to land right. And my train, their train would have went under this side of this piece, like under that roof. So the track would have been over here, and there would have been a track over here. It was a double track. You can do it however you want. So, because we lay the spline for wherever the train's going to actually go. Alright, so now, make sure all that's done. Make sure you think about where your water level is, where your bridge height is, will the boat go under it. Any building that's near the train track, you need to look at and figure out the height so that the train would go under it. This right here needs to be up, as you can see, that distance from the ground, so the train will fit under it if you actually do it like Riverbend. And then all these buildings, you need to have them ready to go. The other buildings are these train buildings real quickly. Well, I don't want to take up a lot of time on that, but just so you'll get it prepped before you actually do your train. See this building? You can do it however you want, wherever you want. Just make sure that somehow you can get that piece, one piece of that track to go here, like in Riverbend. And you don't have to do it like theirs. Theirs kind of went like this, and mine, I changed it up. As you can see, my train goes here. It doesn't come to that piece. Well, Riverbend don't come to that piece anyway for this building. Okay, so this is just mostly for looks. That's just floating. Ignore it. All that's just to be ignored for now. So anyway, get all your train stuff done, and of course this other building is not near water, so you don't have to worry about it, but you do have to worry about the spout, which I showed if you've seen the video, where this is an actual trigger and it has to be able to dump in the train. So you need to go on and add this in, and make sure when you lay your track that this pipe is lined up where it can hit the top of that train where you dump the stuff in. Okay, and then mold your ground accordingly. And then this little thing is where you call the train. It comes with that. This little thing comes with this. You don't have to put your trigger there. You could put it somewhere else, but you would need to put it close enough to the track that it's near the track. But typically I like to put it where it was in the end game, so people, when they see this, they know that's where you call your train. So it's just up to the person, doesn't matter. And then on the tunnels, real quick, you need to go ahead and build your tunnel as best you can. Now, I'm going to probably put a little thing here that makes it look like it's going in the dark tunnel, like a black plane or whatever. I don't know, we'll see. I may change it altogether. I still got to build up around here. I wish they'd have made it where the ground didn't go into the tunnel, but they didn't. So the train kicks out, you know, as you've seen. So I'm not going to go into detail on that. But anyway, we need to go ahead and get started. I think that's about everything I need to tell you to do. Make sure you prep everything. The height, the railroad tracks, the sawmill. Let's just show that real quick. The sawmill, you need to go on and have it set up. If you're going to use the exact one like this, if the in-game one, this bridge won't appear unless you have the XML in there, and the building won't appear if you don't have the XML in there. And you can use these tracks and do this, but you need to make sure that you set it up like theirs is enough that it'll fit whenever it highlights in there. You can see mine's a little different, but it's basically the same. So on the shapes, and I'm not finished molding, as you can see. So you're going to need to make sure that water level is at the right level so you can throw these logs in. So you need to make sure you look so you can match up the height of these logs in the water, and that's going to determine where your building is. And then you just mold the ground accordingly, like I've showed you before. And then that way we had all these track stuff in there. Even though it don't go that way, it goes this way. It don't matter. Alright, so anyway, let's get started. We need to get on over here. Let's see, where are we going to go first? We're going to be bringing in the train system. But as you can see, there's our bridges. Your spline is going to be following along the track at every level. So you come to the beginning is where you need to come. You're going to be starting kind of over here, mostly off the map basically. So what I would suggest when you build your map, you take your train track off the map. See, I went through the tunnel. You're not even going to be able to see all that, and then you slant it down where it's lower than the map height, so that when it's past there, that the train will go there, and then it starts off. It's going to start here and come around, come back, and then come off, and then come this way again. It's a straight shot over here, but it's down low enough that you don't see it. But technically, it's supposed to disappear when we put the node in over there, the information in. But anyway, let's get started. You need to go and get some things, so we're going to go ahead and go get what we need. You need to click to open up your main game stuff. So let me see, let's open it here. Go to D drive. In my case, Steam Library. Your case, C drive, maybe. Program files 86. Steam, potentially, for you. It may not be, but I'm just saying in case it's something different than mine. Steam apps, common, and then the farm sim, and then so on from wherever I start telling you. Then D drive for me, Steam Library, Steam apps, common, double clicking all these, farm sim 25, data, and in this case, we want the train system, placeables, map US, come down to the bottom, and train system. Now we'll open it to look at it for a second. It's got an XML, the i3D, the little picture thing. If you double click that, you can see the picture. That's a picture. It's going to show that in game. That's Goldcrest Valley. You technically could change this, but you need to do it at the exact same size and everything that they have. I'm not showing that in this video. Potentially I change it later. I don't think I will. I like Goldcrest Valley. Farm Sim 17 is my favorite one, so I like it saying that. Y'all might not. It's up to y'all. Do what you want. But I'm just showing you that's what that is. That's what it's going to be showing. But we're going to back up one up here at the top. Hit Map US. It shows us the train system folder. Right click on it while it's highlighted and hit copy, not cut. Then we're going to go to our map. Now mine's in documents. You go where yours is. My games, Farm Sim 25, mods. And I'm using a backup map to show you this on because I don't want to mess up the map that's on, but it is the one where my train works, but I'm still going to be showing you bringing it all in. So you're still going to see it, but then I'm going to show it to you in game where I change it, you know, enough that you can tell it works. And you've seen it work, but I'm going to tell you all everything you need to know as best I can. Alright, open it, maps US, and then in here, I had put mine just in here. So this one works. It works just fine the way it is. If you want to keep it like that and you want to do that, do that. If you don't, some people like to put it in a placeables folder. So what you do is hit new folder right here, and then where that's blue and it says new folder, write PLACEABLES, placeables, lowercase. And then you can open that, and in here, right click and click paste, and then it puts your train system in here. Now, I put my selling station train in here, but I didn't. From my understanding, I didn't have to do that. Okay, so you don't have to do that either if you don't want to. It's better to have less folders for it to have to go through. Okay, so technically, it's nicer if it would have been maps US, and then that's it. But it's up to you. If you want a placeables folder, then you can have one. Alright, so we're going to put it in placeables just for the sake of doing it. But like I said, I didn't in the other one. I put my train system in the map US and I put my selling station in here. So this is my original selling station train one. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to double click that, and you can see you got your XML, you got your i3D and all the stuff like that. Now we're going to minimize these and bring that into the game. Hit File, Import, and go back to wherever it was if it don't bring it up. Maps, my games, Farm Sim 25, mods, the map name, double clicking all these, get all the way to that folder, and in this case it was placeables. So we're going to go under the train system, click the i3D, and click open. It's going to bring it in. Leave it alone at 000. Do not, I repeat, do not change that, or you're going to have problems. Now, I even tried it where I changed it and then changed the numbers in the placeables thing, and it still didn't want to work. But I think I know why the regular spline, this one up here, create a spline from this one. I think I know why it don't work, and you have to use the main game spline for the train right here, the spline train one. You have to use the original that they just send you. But I think I know. I'll have to show it in a later video if it works. I'm not going to show you here because I don't even know if it worked or not. I know it didn't work for me, but I have another way of doing it. I think I know what'll fix it, but we'll see. I don't know yet. But this one, you need to use the original. But right now, you need to take this train system and put it in a placeholders folder. If you don't, okay, if you don't, you can do it where you don't do it because you're going to delete it later after you've fully finished everything, right? You've saved, you finished everything, and then you delete it, right? So if you do that, then it'll be alright. But if you don't plan to delete it and you want it left in here, you got to put it in a placeholders folder. So you need to make one. Now I'm probably going to make a video after this one potentially of just a small video of only being called how to do a placeholders folder. I've already done one, but for 25 I haven't. And just so that it's a more concise video, straight to the point of what I'm doing, I'm going to do and show you in this video, but I'm also going to make a separate video and probably post it before this one, hopefully. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to click Create a Transform Group. It's going to pop up the thing down here that says Transform Group. And when it does, pretend that right there in the name box of the attribute says Transform Group. You're just going to highlight over that. You're going to type out placeholders. PLACEHOLDERS, lowercase. Once you do that, you're going to click on User Attributes. Then you're going to click on this right here, this little drop down, and click Script Callback. And over here in the name box, click in there and type ON, lowercase, C, capitalized, REATE, lowercase. Make it look exactly like this on Create. Then click Add. It's going to put this box here, and then you're going to type out in the box placeholders.onCreate. Your capital P, lowercase LACEHOLDERS dot ON lowercase, capital C, RE lowercase, ATE lowercase. And then it'll work to hide the thing from the end game so it doesn't do it twice. And if you don't, you'll see that the little arms for the barriers will be double. So until you delete that after you finalize it or you put it in the placeholders, you're going to see two arms. One's going to be down, one's going to be up. So it's going to be a double effect, and it's not going to let you do what you want it to do because it's going to be calling you're going to be calling the XML and the in-game, the one that you have here now. You'll be calling both. So we're going to start here. Remember, make your both tracks go off the map a little bit and a little bit downward effect, in my opinion. I probably don't have to, but that's just my opinion. Okay, see how it's slightly going down? Alright, so now, once we have that, you would take that and drag it in here. Now you see I have mine already in here. I'm going to leave this one in here, but I'm going to make it invisible. So click back on Transform. I'm going to roll down and make it invisible, clicking the visibility off. And just to distinguish that that's my original. Okay, we're going to hit the middle scroll wheel on the train system that we just brought in and drag it to placeholders. Okay, so you won't have two in yours. You'll only have the one right here. The invisible one is just because I already had it done and I don't want to delete it. Okay, so now your spline is invisible. It's technically not invisible, but I would say go ahead and make it visible so that everything functions nicely. But then right at the end, before you export this train system out to overwrite it, you need to make this invisible or you'll see the line on the track. Okay, so what you're going to do is, since you clicked on spline train, you're going to hit the right arrow key on the keyboard and it's going to throw it to the S right there. It threw that arrows to the S. Now we're going to hit Control B as in boy and left mouse click right in the center. Okay, double click. So you just Control B and left click right in the center. Okay, you're going to want to follow the very center. If you don't hit the board right here on the top of it and the very center, the train is going to be off to the side one way or another, or it'll be floating. So you need to focus on it hitting this board, these boards, as you go. Okay, now we've got the first one. Don't click anything, don't mess it up. Hit the right arrow key on the keyboard again. It'll move to the very next point. the next point that you need to put. So you need to drive up a little, drag up, whatever you want to call it. Try to get it centered. Hit Control B as in boy. Left mouse click, left mouse click. Now you're not going to notice it doing it right. Right now you think, oh, it ain't working. It's not there. Well, it is. Just be patient. Keep going. You'll see it works in a minute. Hit the right arrow key on the keyboard. At one time, just one click. Don't double click it. Okay, don't press it twice. Roll up. You hold down Alt, hold down right mouse button, and then push your mouse forward while you're holding both of them down, and it'll drive you faster around. Okay, and then you could just scroll in and out with your scroll wheel. Right click your right mouse button to go left, right, up, down. Okay, that's how you steer. And there's other ways. You can use it, the WSD, ASD, but I don't really do that much. I don't like it. But it's up to you. However you want to do it. Alright, so now we've moved that arrow. It's over there waiting on us. Okay, so it's time to hit Control B, left mouse click, left mouse click. Now we'll back up. And you still can't see. It still looks like a mess. See? But it's not. Just keep going. Hit the right arrow key on the keyboard. The little where you have a up arrow, down arrow, a left and a right. You know how it's got the little, it's like a upside down T. Hit the right arrow key. When you do, go on up a little bit further. Put it right in the middle. Hit Control B, left mouse click, left mouse click. And as you go, you see, uh-oh, look, the line's falling into place. Now hit your right arrow key again and do the same thing. Go back up to just a little past that. Control B as in boy, left mouse click, left mouse click. Then same thing. Back up a little. If you want to see it, you can see it's working. I'm using the scroll wheel to back up very carefully. Don't bump buttons. You shouldn't. When you do this, take your time. Be prepared to, it's going to be a while. It's going to take a long time, depending on how long your track is. Alright, hit the right arrow key. That's the key. One time. And then go up again. Now you just keep repeating this process all the way around your map. Double click, click when you lay it down. Make sure it hits this board in the center as best that you can. Hit the right arrow key. Roll up. Control B. Left mouse click, left mouse click. Pull back, you can look and you can turn around and see. And there you go. So it's working. Now, you can delete some, but I wouldn't delete any until you like get to the end of your thing and you have way too many and you're already at the end of your track, right? Don't delete it otherwise. And if you want to add more, say you get to the end, say I had to add a bunch because my track is longer than Riverbend. And so I had to insert. So hit INS, which is right on the right side of your backspace key on the keyboard. You're going to hit insert and it'll give you one more dot and then you can go forward with it and make sure your arrow lands on it. So when you hit insert, make sure the arrow is on the new dot, the last dot, the latest dot. Okay, so don't add any unless you're at the end of it, like you've already used all the dots you got now, right? So hit the right mouse button again, and again on some straightaways, if it's a straightaway with no curves, you can go a lot further. You know, you don't have to go quite as close. But remember, if it's a level of ground change, then you need to. So as we go up, you wouldn't just go straight because you would want to change the level as it goes up, right? You can see that line's following it. So if you just keep doing that, the arrow key to the right once, Control B as in boy, left mouse click in the middle on the board. Do it on the curves. You're going to need to do them closer together, like every few boards. You don't want to go too far. So like whenever you see this piece, how that lands. So this back piece, say you hit a dot here, you would stop your next dot right here at this little crease. So that right there, see that little circle? That's the best one to put it on. I put mine about right there, and that makes it pretty centered. You can find the best place that you think you'll be able to look at it in game later to see how your train looks. You'll know if you need to move your spline over or not. I wouldn't move it after I did it if I was you, unless it's just really bad, but that's up to you. But you can. you can go back to that dot, but then you got to re-export this whole train system back into your folder to overwrite it if you change anything. Alright, every time you change something. So anyway, I would hit at least here, and so you can kind of see that tip of that. And so you would hit control, after you hit the arrow key and it went to the next dot, you would hit control B as in boy, left mouse click, and you can see there's several of these all about this. Then you would go to the next one, and if you had a good straight shot, you could go further. Just depends on how straight it is. Notice it goes to about right here, and then it starts turning a little. Then I'd hit right here, control B, left mouse click, arrow key on the right keyboard, the arrow key, and then I would go to the next one, right about here. There's a dot. Control B, left mouse click. That makes it easier to follow those dots. That was my favorite part to follow. So that's what I would do. And you don't have to hit those. You could put it on another board, but you're going to have to eyeball it center. And then as it climbs, we're not going to lay all that spline because you're going to have to do it. When you see how you start climbing, you'll be putting one here, or now this one's not the same as that other dot, so you're going to put it more to this side of this dot. You still got to eyeball it center. Now some of the dots are more centered, some of them are different, so you'll be able to tell what looks more centered than what don't. Okay, and then when you see how it's coming up on these curves and stuff, you're going to need to go like I would go like 4 boards so that it makes a nice turn here to here and so on, and always hit the right arrow as you go. And as you get to this part, it's going to be going up, so you got to make sure you do more than one. I got a little bit of dirt on that one. You would click control B here, and then you would go ahead and click it here too, and then you would click it maybe right here, and then maybe up just a little more, so that it gets the perfect incline. Okay, and you don't want to make your track too pointed. That's a little extreme, but it's reasonable. And the train does okay there. If you have an issue, you can hide it with a little bush or something, like if the train kind of just floats across it or something. But it's going to follow that spline. Okay, so you can go up. Like I say, you can go up these hills, and then see that's a little extreme. But it's a lot of trouble getting this ground to do the way you want it. And the tracks don't bend, so, and they don't really have a curved track like you would want. So you just got to go with what you got. Alright, so you're going to be laying it, and you're going to be right arrow key and control B all the way around. You're going to go all through your map, all through all this. Go to your buildings. You got to pick which path you're going to take. See, this one's got 2 paths. Well, if I wanted it to go under that building, which Riverbend didn't, but if I wanted it to, I would have to take and go and turn exactly in the center of that and go follow the center and then jump back. But I went straight because I didn't want it going under that. Now, I don't know if the train will fit under it. It might, but I don't know. But it does fit under that other building that we're coming up on. You're going to have your train tracks laid out on your bridge here. And do that, and then you're going to come on across. You come into this building, and it will go under. If you lay it like that Riverbend had it, it went under here. So it will go under that. It's so long as you have yours up high enough like this, and you don't have this part touching the ground or something like that. Okay, make sure you have it the way it needs to be. And then the other tracks over here, you would have to pick which one of those tracks that it went out. Theirs went this way, not to this side. You could pick whatever track you want. You don't have to do what they do. So then you just do your track and run on around and do it and do it and do it and go. And all the tracks till you get to the end. Okay, and I'm not going to do it. You're going to be doing right arrow key on the keyboard, and then control B as in boy, left mouse click, move it. And same over, repeat. Here you need to pick which way you want it to go, and obviously here, where do you got it to make it go? Under the spout, because that's where your trigger's going to be. This right here is where it's going to be, not that side. This side don't work, and the trigger is actually here, and there. It's not going to fit there, so don't put it there. Run the line on this side, the spline on that side. I got to put a bridge in, as you see. And then just do all your stuff. Get your track all fixed right. And then it comes out, and as soon as it gets out, you're going to be still laying it all the way past here. You're going to lay it and lay it and lay it, and you're going to lay it here. Remember, you need to run, and it don't have to look good because you're not going to see it under here. So I was sick of laying track at this point, and so this is what it looks like. So I was running it, and it was wild. So then this one's just jammed out, but I didn't put it there. I just ran the spline around, and it's only so you have a place to set the spline instead of floating off into space. So you just run it all the way to the very end, and see how I slanted it down for a reason, so the train won't be seen, just in case. But it shouldn't be anyway. It should disappear after that little point that we're going to put in there. But you know, you just have to see. You can see the start over there. So we're going to back up, and we would come as close to the end of whatever we chose. Pretty far off the map. I'm going to try to back up to show you how far we are off the map. See, we're off the map, and we're down lower than the map. And once you got this far, you would go all the way up to here. Potentially, you wouldn't have to. You could stop a little sooner. You wouldn't have to go all the way to the end, but it wouldn't hurt if you're here. And then, of course, the last one, the E, or if it's not quite the last one yet for you, go ahead and click it here after you did the arrow thing. Then Control B, left mouse click, and if this was your last one that you were going to do before you jump to that side, then you could delete the other points in between there. Just don't delete the S, okay? And then this last one would turn into the E if you deleted any points before it. And then you will have to hit insert, or don't delete one more ahead of that, like there's one in front of this last one you placed. So basically, I had to insert. So when I came here, I had to hit insert, Control B, left mouse click, and of course, whatever I had to do, if it was an arrow key thing. If it's the dots already there, you're going to be doing the arrow key to the right. But I think after that, it was just insert, Control B, and then you kept doing it that way. Once I got to here, it was already on the E, because I already had ran out of the dots. If you didn't, see, that's the whole thing. You gotta try to delete them up to that point, then have one more point that you're going to be taking off that way. Okay, so I have E here. Then I hit insert. Then I just left it. I just hit insert. Didn't click it nowhere, and I drove this way, so to speak, all the way over here to the S. Okay, and when I got over here, I can't remember because it's been too long. It's been a month since I did it, and I was sick when I was doing all that. So I can't remember exactly. So it's either going to be the 00 one that you're going to click it to, or the S. You could try either. If you have to delete one click, then just hit delete once, and you'll be able to go back one. But hit Control B and bring it close to this, and then you're going to hit O, and I'm going to show you File, Preferences, Shortcuts, come down. See this open/close spline? That's how you close it, and it does work. So that's how you lock it in. If it's not the S you hook it to, which I'm assuming when I did try to hook it to the S, if I remember correctly, it threw it and hooked it to the O.00 anyway, if I remember correctly. But either way, hook it to the 00, because it's technically going to be hooked to the 00. Maybe just go ahead and try to hook it to the 00. And the 00 should be next to this S, and you can't really see it here. I'm going to try to see if I can show it to you, if I can get it to pull up. There it is. See it? It's hard to see. I'm going to try to get to it. You would bring it to that. See that 00? Now for some reason, well, since we hadn't laid it, if I had laid it, the 00 would be where it needs to be. But I didn't lay the track, okay? So if you lay the track fully, this is going to get to be off over here between this and the E, okay? So it will work. So this right here, if I was taking that E to try to hook to this after I had hit insert, okay, I would hit Control B, left mouse click near it, then I would click the O so it would join to it, okay? And you can see it joins. See how it's touching E? E is there, 0's there, S is over there. You see what I'm saying? So at least hook it to that one. If that don't work, hook it to the S. I can't remember. I think it forced me to hook it to that even when I tried to hook it to the S, because the S don't connect. It's separate. If you look, I'll show you what it looks like on the original. But anyway, you would, and your spline would be laying across all your track. You wouldn't see it like this. And then you would be done. After you hit the O, it will connect. You'll see it join. And then it'll be done, and you'll know that part's done. Okay, so you'll see, and you can see this is pointing that way, but you'll see my 0 is over here and my E. So you would see where it ended up. Actually, it's this way. E is here, 0's around here somewhere, and then my S. So that's how mine looks. Okay, so if we look at this original, first let's hide this other one, and then we'll go look. We're gonna hide that. Okay, we clicked off. We're gonna go look at this one and bring it back so we can see it. Open it up and click on here to see the spline. Now see my S, and now you're gonna see the 0. See the, hang on, you'll see it as soon as I get over there. See the 0? Now the S is not connected to anything but the 0. See, it's off. It's not touching that. Okay? And the E is connected to the 0. So that 0 goes this way, and it's connected to the S, but then it goes on around and starts the path. You see? So that 0 is connected to this first dot, and it goes that way. So the S is separated from it for some reason. I don't know why. So try going on there, clicking near that, and hit the O after you do. If that don't work, try the S, and it should throw it onto the O anyway. Okay? So once you're done with that, you're finished laying your spline, alright? But you're not finished with everything. You're just finished with that. So if you had turned your spline on like this, like I told you, then at that point you'll turn it off. So it's invisible, so when you go in game, you can't see it. Alright? Now you're going to move along to your drive range. Okay? So you can see here, you can open it up, and you'll see your start node and end node. Leave your drive range at 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 in your attributes box. Don't move it. Click on your start node, and you're going to go to where your beginning of where you want your train to start from, which is this side for me. And I don't know which side's which. Like, I'm going like this is east, and then I'm going like that's north, and that's south, and that's west. But I don't know, that may not be that, but that's the way I'm laying it out. Okay, so whatever it actually is, you do that, or however you want to do it, wherever you want it to start, you put your start node. So your start node, in my case, I put my start node right here where the train's gonna disappear into the bricks, really. But we're gonna have a black thing or something here to make it look like it's actually going, but it's not actually gonna be going. It'll go through there, and then as soon as the back end of the train hits here, it should disappear. But technically, the train is going to be coming this way. So the end node will be where it disappears from on that side. But you're going to put it here. Okay. So wherever you decide, and it's on the map. You can see how far away from the edge it is. I wanted it inward a little bit. You put yours where you want, as long as it's on the map. Okay. So put yours as long as it's on the map. And you don't put it within, you know how you have the thing where you don't fall off the map, the boundary? Don't put it on the other side of that. Put it within it. Okay? Alright, so just basically come right here with that highlighted, right? Hit Control B as in boy, left mouse click right in the center, right on the board. And there you go. And later, if you wanted to use these, you could use these numbers for the hotspot. But if you don't, I ended up using something else for that. And I'll be putting it right here so that the train kicks me out right here instead of over there. Just depends on how you want to do it. This is going to be where the that it ends or the train disappears. Okay, this is that for that. And then the other one is where it kicks you out and asks you, do you want to sell the stuff to Goldcrest? Unless you change the name, and I think I know where you change it. I'll show you. I may change it to show you. One of them I know, but there's another one that I'm gonna test both. One of them does change it right here. This one changes, so you can change that in XML. All right. So then now pretend we just did that. Control B, and then we're gonna click on the end node. Gonna run all the way to the other side where your end is. That's where the end node's gonna go. So pretty simple. Go right over gently. Don't jam anything up. Very carefully. I would suggest you had hit save after you done your spline just in case. So that don't mess up, because that's a pain. You can be mad at having to lay all that. So there you go. Now you'd hit Control B as in boy, left mouse click right in the middle before it goes off. And while it's still on the map, yours might be further up than mine. That's just where mine is. Okay, and it works. Alright, and it'll be an icon. Okay, so now you're going to move on to the railroad caller. And if you'll open it, you'll see it's got the railroad caller trigger, hotspot, and the teleport. So it's going to be all in one. You need to move the whole group, the main part. So you need to go where number 1 is going to be. Now, this building over here happens to be the one that says this thing is the railroad train caller 1. So if you want it to be that way, put this building over on that side of the map so it is the first one, because that one says that. But you don't have to. The trigger works whether you change that or not. And even though this one is called train caller 01 place, my train caller 02 trigger is there. Okay, so it don't matter, but I'm just saying if you want it to match that, that's up to you. You don't have to. So we're going to come over here to where the first train caller is, and it's going to be. Now you don't have to use that building. You can stick your train caller right here, or over there, or wherever you want it. Okay, so come up here in game. They put it somewhere about right here. So you're going to just, with that particular thing highlighted, we got to go back to it, with the caller 1 trigger highlighted, hit Control B as in boy on the concrete, left mouse click. Make sure the whole group is grabbing all that with it, and so once you put it there, it looks like this. Make sure it looks like it's that far away from the track. It needs to be close to the track so it can work. So the train will say, "Oop, stop right there." Alright, then this one is the trigger. This one's the hotspot to bring you there when you click on it in the, visit. Well, teleport is the visit, and the hotspot is showing the icon thing. Okay, in the where you see the picture and you see the what it is, and it says buy, not buy it, but visit and tag it or whatever. That's gonna be that. All right, so now you've got that in. You could go to your railroad barrier, or you could jump on down to the railroad caller 2 and just go put it at the same thing at that other one where we talked about before. And just come on over there after that's why you put these buildings in first. And then you come here and you get over there with it highlighted, the whole thing. Control B as in boy, left mouse click. And that one now fits. And if you have to move it, just move it over a little. If you're too close or too, if you need to twist it to try to line it up a little neater. Alright, and that one's all done. Then you're going to move back to the railroad barrier 1. And you're going to go to your very first road. Okay? And if you need to move faster on the map, press your plus on your numpad, and it'll make this go up higher so you can move faster, or push the minus to go slower across the map. Right here, this one don't need a little barrier that drops down to block you because it goes over this and the cars go under. But over here, it needs it because the road goes on right over the track. Okay, the train would hit the car. So these aren't finished yet. I will finish them when I finish molding everything. They work, but they just look wrong because I've not finished it, and I'm not going to because there's no point. I hadn't molded anything the way I want or anything. You technically need to go ahead and finish your roads and everything before you do the train track, as far as where you're going to put them, and just at least where the tracks meet and cross. You will have an error if you do not have your road splines set up. Okay, so I would have an error right now because I haven't set up any road splines. But that doesn't mean it's a problem because I just hadn't set them up yet. So if you see that, don't panic. It's going to be fixed when you set up the splines for your roads and stuff because it's going to be coming across and everything. Okay, and we'll try to work on that later when we get to that point. It'll be a while though. So anyway, these work, but remember, put them in the placeholders folder. Make sure that they don't have two of these. Otherwise, it'll have one sticking up and one down in game when you go in game. So what you're going to do is highlight the whole thing. Come right here to the center of the track, and dead center of the road and dead center of the track. Right, Control B, left mouse click, put it there, and then according to what you got to do with your ground, you're going to be able to move this. Okay, so if you need to twist it to get this to line up, square up with the road. So you would want it to go squarely across the road. You wouldn't want it this way unless it was an angled road. Okay, and you would want these things to be at the right height. You also can open it and click on that and move that whole piece. We'll move it just a little and then undo it. You can move it up to the spot. Okay, and then you click on the other one, and if it needs to move, you can do it. Okay, I'm going to undo that because I don't really care for it to do it right now because there's no point yet. Okay, so that's how you move those. You need to move it in one whole thing. You could open it again, but there's no point in doing that because then you got the visibility. You don't want to separate all that stuff. Okay, so leave that alone. Do it as one thing there. Alright, so now then you're going to move on to your second railroad barrier. Then you're just going to, this is your very first road. This is my first road. From start to here, there is no road. Okay, so if I was somehow to add a road across the track later, because I hadn't even added all my roads yet, I'm going to have to add more of these railroad barriers. But I can't just duplicate it. I need to duplicate it. I would need to duplicate number 5 and call it 06. Then I would have to go in the XML and add one more of the whole line of information that was railroad barrier 5 and then change it to 6 in the XML. Okay, so you can't just, you got to do it, and however many you're going to need. Or if you need to delete one, say you only had 4 roads to go across the track, then delete number 5 and then in the XML, grab the number 5 information and delete it. Okay, so now you just go to your second road. So we would just keep following the train the way that it is, and this is a bridge, so we don't need one there. And we just go and go and go, no roads, no roads, no roads, no roads, till we get here. And this is the next road. And I was using the roads, that's when I brought the roads in to see kind of what our width is going to be, because I wanted to make sure. So, because I don't know how big I'm going to do this road, or if I'm going to make a little one, or am I going to be a 4-lane, what am I going to do? So it's probably not going to be a 4-lane if I'm going to have these, because these wouldn't block a whole 4-lane road. So we're probably going to go ahead and just do this part. Now, you put it in same way, come up to there, have the whole thing highlighted, don't make sure it's that right there. And then right in the center where the line is, right there, and in between these, and in between the tracks. So right center, Control B, left mouse click, and again do the 2 parts if you had to do them separately to move them. But try to twist it before you move them. So twist this, see, before you go move, so that you get both of them kind of right, in the right angle for the road, going that way, like that, so that it would make sense. And then you move them separately. So if you had to open it, then you move them separately. Try to do that part first together. And you can pull this further away like that because it's a little close. Okay, so those can be moved back. Alright, and then you're going to move to number 3 and so on. And just follow your track to the third one, wherever that is. And my third one, I think, is over here. So the track comes across right here, and there's going to be a road right there. So that's my third one. And it's going to be an angled road. That's why I got it kind of crooked. But it's not, none of this is finalized. Same thing, Control B, right in the center. Center of your road, center of the track. And then you just go to your next one. click on number 4. And then you're going to run the track till you get to it. This is number 4. Same thing, except it's a lot further apart. When it's a lot further apart, you don't put it on the track, you put it in the center between the two tracks if it's 2 of them. And then you're going to be moving these things separately apart further, but make sure you do the twisting first to get that part right, and then do the, if you need to make it go further over or further up or down. Okay, I wouldn't necessarily twist these after, they're already good, so I wouldn't twist them unless you just really had to. You shouldn't need to. You should be able to twist it to both of them together to get it at least right, and then you can do the other movement. And then you're going to go to number 5 to your last road. Do the same thing if it's a double, dead center of the 2 tracks, and then dead center across the road. So like here's the road edges, dead center of those. And then you're done with all that. Now you're done with that whole thing. Well, how about that? You still got XML work to do, but now you're finished with that. So in this case, this one is my original. So we're gonna put that back on. Well, we'll leave it like that. We're okay with that because we're gonna delete the new one because we were just showing y'all how to do it. So the new one we brought in, you're not gonna delete until you've exported it and everything. So right now, just pretend this one's not there, this top one, because that's my original. You're gonna be using this one to export. So make sure you got the whole train system highlighted right there, all that stuff. And you're going to hit File, Export Selection with Files, and then see this one here. If it popped back up like that, and it's your map one, and the one that you had imported, then that's the right one. You're going to click on it and click Save to overwrite this one to what you just did all those changes. You're going to hit yes and yes to both questions, and then you're good to go. Right? So I'm going to be deleting mine because I didn't do anything. I just showed you how. So that one I'm going to delete, but you're going to hit Save and yes and yes. And I'm just going to go, since we pretended we just finished it all, and I showed y'all, I still have one that I'm going to be able to do with the XML stuff that I got to show you. So remember, the zeros leave, don't move that one, and make sure when you bring it into the placeholders, you use the middle scroll wheel to drag it up there. And now you can see that you need to make this spline, if it's not already been put and made invisible, you can see how whenever you have a shift on the track, I decided right here to shift it. So as I was laying the track and I saw that there was a piece like that, I said, oh, I'd like to make it have a little fun and shift it over. So I shifted it, then I suddenly shifted it right back too, just for the movement and fun of it. And then we just run it on, and it ran on. You can see how it looks, but you're going to want that to be invisible. So make sure that you don't have it selected to be visible in game, that it's clicked and it's suddenly grayed out right here. So that when it's not highlighted like this in game. You don't want to see the line in game. Okay? So, and if you forgot to do that before you overwrote the train thing, it's okay. Just click back on the train system thing, hit File, Export Selection with Files, go back and click on your train system i3D, and then hit Save, yes and yes. Overwrite it every change you make. If you lift up these little bars later, when I lift these up and fix it, I'm going to have to export it again. Okay? Now, hit Save. Alright, hit Save right there so that it saves. Now, I don't have to, obviously, because it's already done that. It might be beneficial just to get it back to where it needs to be. We'll go ahead and hit Save. Sometimes the map acts up if you don't make sure it's saved. Alright, so that's still my train system. We're going to go do the other one. We need to add the selling station train. Go ahead before we do the XML for either. Alright, go back to your map. Go to where you was in the in-game map, whichever one that was, this one. Alright, if you left it up, and if you want 2 of them open, right click and hit File Explorer again, and you can get 2 folders open. One for your in-game, your map, documents, my games, etc., to your map, and then the other you can leave on the path to the main game. That's an easier way. Then you can click back between the two without having to go through the whole path again. Otherwise, you got to go through D, Steam Library, the whole thing again, all the way to here. So you need to go back to, just go ahead and back up to data. We got to go get the train station thing. And it is under placeables. So we're going to go back to data. We got to get the selling station train thing. So I think it's under placeables, map US, selling points, and then selling station train. So you can open it to look at it. That's what you'll be getting, the XML and the i3D. If you click back on selling points, you'll see that there's your selling station train. You're going to right click, hit copy. Okay, copy it, minimize this, go back to your regular map, which is this one. Make sure it's right. Documents, my games, and all that. Back to where you were. Go back to the placeables thing. If you're not sure, go back through the whole thing. My games, FS25, mods, because you want to make sure you're in the right map. Your map. Maps US. Then you'll go into the placeables folder. And then see here, I already have one. Okay. But if you don't, you need to right click, hit paste, and put it in here. And you can put it in there with your train one. Or you could put it in here. Like I said, my train one system's here, and my other one was in placeable. So it's up to you. It really don't matter. It's not that important in this particular case. So then once it's in here, after you pasted it in, open it up, and you can see it's got this XML. But you also need this i3D. So now minimize that, come in here, hit File, Import, and it should take you back to it. If it don't, just go backwards until you get there, or go through your process, documents, my games, FS25, so on, so on, so on, till you get to the selling station train you just put in there, because you needed to take that whole folder in there. But once you get in there, you need to open it till it hits this i3D. Then click that i3D. It's going to put it in the file name, hit open, it'll bring it in the map. When it brings it in the map, then you don't even necessarily with this one have to put it on the placeholders folder. Shouldn't be a problem. I didn't have a problem. But if you want to, you can. It's up to you. But I didn't have a problem with it. So I left mine out. Mine's somewhere else. I'd have to find it. Let me see where it is. Here it is, right here. So let's pretend it just brought it in, right? You just imported it. You hit open. Here it is. What you're going to do is leave it at 0000. You're going to open it. You're going to click the first trigger. You're going to be able to go ahead and go to wherever the end point of your train is. So wherever your end point is. I don't know where yours is. Mine's over here. This is my end point. You're going to come a little bit before you hit where you're going to be putting those little start and end node, your end node, and then where you're going to put that thing that kicks you out, because we're going to put something there to show what these numbers are to kick us out. So before you get to this exit, so that your train can sell this stuff, you're going to click on the wood cell trigger west on your end point side, in my opinion. Depends on, I guess, what you want to do, I suppose. But I would go west goes to the end point and east goes to the start, in my opinion. But maybe there's room for it not to. Whatever. Do whatever you want and see if it works. Okay? And then you're going to come up close to your track. You hit Control B with that one highlighted, and then left mouse click, put it right in the center. Then you wiggle this, twist this to make it square up the way you want it, so it's not all crooked. And then you can go to the next one, but before you do, you could get these numbers. There's several ways you could do it. You could do one at a time, or just do the top one, whatever you want. Click to the end, hit Shift Control C as in cat, and then click to the palette cell trigger west. Skip the east one for a minute. Click to this one. It'll be somewhere else, but you're going to be trying to get it here, and you'll notice that the number's the same as that other one was, or pretty close. It's the same. And then you're going to click to the beginning this time, because you're going to be pasting it in. Before, you had clicked to the end. But when you paste it, you click to the beginning, and then you should be able to hit Shift Control and V as in Victor, and it should paste this 3 in. Then you can do the same for the other one if you want to put it dead center, or you can freestyle it and just click it there and put it in the center as best you can, the trigger as close as you want. As far as I know, it shouldn't have to be exact, but I just wanted it more exact. Do the same for this. You're going to need to do it again if you have to. So you would grab that number if you had already lost it. Shift Control C as in cat, and then come to this west one, the last west one. Click to the beginning. Shift Control V as in Victor to paste. Do the same for the bottom, the control side, and then the paste side. And then these will all light up the way you see these, so that they're there. And they're all different triggers: grain, pallet, and wood. So it's not a problem that they're all on top of each other. They're all gonna sell at that point when the train thing goes through. All right. And as soon as you get to that little spot that we put this number in, what we're fixing to do in the XML, it's gonna kick us out and ask us, do we want to sell it to Goldcrest, or unless we change the name, and I'm gonna have to test that theory. It's gonna say it's going to wherever we put in the XML, but the other dialog box might say Goldcrest if we don't change it in the right spot. So we'll see that. We'll test that when we go in. Alright, now we need to hit the east wood cell trigger, and we need to go all the way to the beginning where the start side is, and the same thing, just back a little from here. And I don't know why they did that like that in Riverbend, because it don't make sense to me that the train's coming. How's it going to have anything to sell right here? It's going to go all the way around. It's going to sell before it leaves. It's going to come back empty. Like, I don't get that. I don't know. If you know, let me know. I don't know. That don't make sense to me. But anyway, come over here. Hit Control B as in boy. Left mouse click with that east one selected. Do the same thing. Get this. Shift Control C as in cat. Then click on the next east one. Click to the front. Shift Control V as in Victor. Puts all those numbers. Do the same for the bottom. And then it'll put that icon there like that, or trigger, and then it'll do the same for this one. So I ain't gonna repeat myself. Just do each one of them where they all have the same numbers as you see, or just write the numbers down and then type them in. Whatever you want to do. You can see that they're the same. Let me see what the east one is. Okay, we got it jammed for a second. See, they're all the same. Alright, so now that we've done that, what do you got to do? Click back on your selling station train. Click File, Export Selection with Files. Go back till you get to your selling station train i3D. Click Save. Make sure it's yours and not the end game or anything else, or nobody else's map. Make sure it's your map, the one you're working on. Click Save and yes. It'll override it, and now you got it where it needs to be. Cancel. We still need to do other things. There's two more things. There's two things in here we got to do. Then we got to do XML. Double types of XML. We're going to come here to the beginning of this, where we want the train to kick us out before we run into a brick wall, but technically it's going to be hopefully a little black looking thing, like it went through into the dark. Alright, so now we need to create a transform group. So I already have one down there, but we'll just create another one for y'all. Hit Create Transform Group. Hit Control B as in boy. Left mouse click, and that's where it's going to kick me out right up when it gets to this tunnel. It's going to throw me out. Then it's going to ask me, you want to sell all that stuff? And I'm going to say yes. And see, since the triggers are here, then I guess it goes ahead and does it. I don't know. That don't make any sense how they set that up, but it almost makes you think this is making it happen, but then again, who knows? So I'm assuming that you could take those triggers and set them back here, and once it passed them, it would just go ahead and sell anyway. But for whatever reason, Riverbend has them closer over here. So there you go. Now take that number of this here, click to the end, Shift Control C as in cat, and we're going to put that number in the XML of one of them. I think it's the I don't know if it's the selling train thing. Probably is. Let me go look. Go to your file. Alright. Not the main game one. That's why we got two open. Alright. So go to your file of your selling station train XML. So wherever your map is, in that one. The selling station train. And then you're going to hit edit with Notepad++ after you right click. And this has got to load. I closed it down, so we got to get in here. We got to change this here to our path. We got to come down here, and right here, these hot spots, we got to change this number to be those numbers that I just told you. This number. So these numbers is going to go in there, but we're going to delete the middle one and get rid of all the other part to the decimal. So click back on your notepad, come in here. I already hit I don't know if I hit it. Let me make sure I had hit it. Let me hit it. Shift, Control, C. Come in here. Now, mine's already there. My number is where I put it. So we're going to see how close I put that new number, that new transform group to the one I originally did. So I'm going to stick mine here. You're going to highlight here, left click, hold down, drag over to there. Right click, paste. Okay, I'm going to stick mine here just to show y'all what you do after you pasted it. Okay, so I'm pasting mine here just as an example. It's going to look like this. There's a couple of ways you can do it. Since the cursor's already blinking here, hit the backspace until you get rid of all the way up until the decimal's gone. So slowly do it till the decimal's gone. Leave the negative, leave the rest. You can see I actually landed in the right spot. Now click to the back of the 8, leave the space. Then click over until the decimal's gone. No, click all the way over till that whole middle number's gone and one more space. Till you're up to the 8. When you get to the 8, you're going to take away all that up to the decimal. Go all the way up to the decimal. And that's what you're going to leave. And you look, I actually clicked the transform group on the exact same spot. How lucky is that? How did I do that? That's so funny. So that's what you do there. You're going to do the same for your endpoint. So we're going to go back in here. And you're going to be using this transform group because you don't need it there. You can delete the transform group later. Okay, go back to your train ending over here. Come down where you want your train to kick yourself out. Now if you had wanted it to kick you out here, on that start node thing, which I think is what the in-game Riverbend might have done. They just used that start node number is what I'm thinking they might have did, but I can't remember because it's been a while since I looked at it. It's up to you. You could have used that number and it would have kicked you out right there. But I don't want it to. I wanted it to kick me out here. So I'm using this transform group thing just to get the numbers. So I'm going to click on the transform group. That's just an empty transform group. Control B and then left mouse click. It gives me these numbers. You click to the end. Shift Control C as in cat. Go to this area again where you were. Left click, hold down, drag over, right click, paste. Same here. If I do that, paste it in, then you get whatever you get, right? Whatever the number is. Just depends on what it is you know, whatever your number ended up being. Same thing, you would take it to the decimal. Apparently this one I didn't click in the same spot. So we would take all that away up to the decimal. And leave one space. So that would be what would be there. For some reason, I don't know why that one's so different. Let me back up. Well, that one says, I didn't do it. It didn't finalize it. I didn't click the actual Control Shift C. So that's what it was. So now if I do it, it'll be the right one. There it is. But it was close. It was a 94 instead of the 195. And you just go all the way to there, and there you go. Alright? And like I say, it don't have to be an exact number. It's just giving you the idea so it kicks you out right here. Alright? And then you don't need to transform anymore. You hit delete. It's gone. Alright? So that part's done. So now we're going to go back to the same XML of the selling station train. And right here you can take away this whole name and right in between there, write train to wherever. I'm going to put Jules Peaceful Valley, just as an example. You don't have to even put that. You can put whatever you want here. But the train is going somewhere. So if you want to put that, put that. Then do the same here. And then I'm going to just put train. And you could capitalize it if you want, however you want. Like that. You're going to hit save. Now I don't mind saving that one because this map's just a backup map to work on to show y'all. But I didn't put that on mine because I want it to go to Goldcrest because that's my favorite farm sim. Like, that's my favorite first one. Okay? So, it depends on the person. Now come up here and change your path. Okay? So go, if you don't know, go to your little area where you were and find out what your path is. So it's Maps, Maps US, Placeables, Selling Station Train, and then the I3D. So if you'll just drag down a little, you'll be able to see it. Maps, Maps US, Placeables, Selling Station Train, I3D. So just type that out, or however you want to do it. There's a lot of ways you can do it, but you already have two, this one and this one. So if it's not the right one, just take away the part you need to, and you don't need data, $, any of that, mapdir in this area. So you need just maps, from maps to the I3D. So whatever, if yours says maps and then placeables and don't have a map US, then put that. Don't put it. If it has maps, placeables, that, or if it has maps US and then just this without placement, put whatever your path is. Hit save. All right. Now it has all that. It has all this for the wood stuff. It shows that. It tells you the east and the west one. It's going to do all that it needs to do. You see here. It's telling it what to do. Wood, seeds, all that. It's got all the information it needs so that it'll work. So once you're done with all that, hit save. Now, I'm assuming this one is the Goldcrest Valley one. I'm assuming. We're going to test that theory. I know that these changed the little icon one, but I'm assuming this changes the other one. But if not, just put it back, because I'm not certain 1,000%. But I'm pretty sure we're going to test it now. We're going to say, we could just say sell to JPV, maybe? I don't know. But technically, we are at JPV, Jules Peaceful Valley, so that's why I don't even need to change it to that. If I'd have had two maps that I'd already made, then I could have put the other map name, maybe, whatever. So now we're going to hit save to just see if that works. If not, then you know what to do. Just get that same line of information, put it back. Don't worry, don't panic. Right? That's pretty simple, right? So there we go. Now, technically, we don't need to necessarily change anything. There's other things you could potentially do, but there's no point. This just so it works. So now we're done with that one. Now we need to go to the other XML, the train system XML. Come in there. Okay, I'm waiting a second to let it catch up. Right click, edit with Notepad++. We need to change this path. So this path needs to go to your train, wherever it is. So this one isn't showing it, but my other one is. So technically I would need to change this one to the right path. Okay. So let me see. Call it from, where's it at? Here it is. Maps US, Placeables. So what you would do is you need to put maps here. You need to put maps here. Then you're going to go over one to the other side of the /, type map US capitalized / placeables. Oh, I didn't see. We can take that one away. We got to take this one away. And then we're there. Maps US, placeables, train system I3D. Double check it on your little area. Right here. Maps US, placeables, and train system I3D. So that's right. Then you go on down and you can see you got all these other things in here. You need to check. What you could check is, like, if you deleted any of these things, like say you deleted the railroad crossing, say you didn't need the fifth one or whichever one. Now they have more. This is the fifth one here. Even though it says 7 here, it's the fifth one. Okay, that's the root node. If you did delete your fifth one, then delete this fifth information, right? So whatever that it goes to, I think it goes to here or potentially here, right there. Delete that, and that should be enough. That gets rid of it. Otherwise, it didn't get rid of it. And then you already have these. Now, if you look, you can have. If you look in your game or map, you'll see. Let me find it. Where's our little train system? Now this one's different because this isn't the original. Because I'm looking at two different ones. So I would have to go change it out of mine. I'm actually in the wrong XML for y'all because I just deleted that other one. Or I don't even think I deleted it, did I? Yeah, I did. No? Let me see. Yeah, I did. So I'm going to have to change the XML in mine because otherwise it ain't going to show up right. Okay. So what you do is come in here and click on, say, drive range. And you're going to look over here and it's going to say O1. Go back to that XML and find O1. Okay? You got your drive range somewhere in here. I got to find it. I can't. Here it is. Now, some of them will look different. And you'll notice this here will be in your, this little line is going to be in your placeables XML, which we still got to add the train to, the information. Okay? So, this one's different because it's not the same one. So I am going to have to, I'm going to save this for a second. I'm going to X out of it for a reason. I'm going to have to go to mine, the original. Because remember, my original was somewhere else. This one. And change that because I deleted the other one. Because I didn't want to redo this blind. So I got to change this one to show y'all. This one is where mine is. And it's not in the placeables. But y'all are good if y'all had put yours in the placeables. But now the drive thing should match. At least it should. Let me see. Where is it? Have I passed it? Yeah. Here it is. Alright, so all these things should match. This is your little things that you haul stuff on your train with. All the other little pieces, not the locomotive, not a caboose, but all in the middle. That's your little wagons. So that has to be added in the placeables XML. I mean in the store item XML as well. It's already in here though. Here's the railroad collar ones. Where's the I'm missing it. Oh, here it is up here. And then the railroad collars are here. So see your railroad collar 0202. Let's go show you. Railroad collar. And then if you open it to the little railroad trigger one, it's 020. And then if you go down 0201 and 0202. See? So it goes through each one. It's 020 and then 080. Okay. So 020 is right there. So if you used to look at your barrier one, it's 030. You go here, look for it. Now this one's a different one. Let me see where we got it at. 0301. That's the other piece. They're calling it the gate, but it's actually the arm thing or whatever, the barrier. 0301 in the index path. So come back and it says 0301. This is the little barrier. It's calling it a gate. If you look at the other one, it says 0311. Okay, so if you was to open the second barrier and look at the barrier, it's 0311. You see? So you need to match and see that your numbers coincide. But mine all worked out, so some of them seems different, like, I don't know, we could go to number 5 and try to see, because some of them don't show it. It seems like it only starts on some of them, like right there. Like number 5, 0701. But the regular part is 07. But it sometimes seems like it's not really looking right. But if you look through each one, when you get to the signal, if you look at it, you got to go open it and click on there. 07030. 07030. See? So it's there, you just got to look at it. Okay, I ain't going to go anymore. I think that I don't want to make the video too long. I think y'all understand. Make sure it matches. Okay? And everything else is good. So we're going to be calling it from here, but I'm going to have to close that. I'm going to have to do the selling station train thing again. Actually, I don't, because I actually used my original selling station train. So when I went into the placeables, I didn't paste that new one in that I showed y'all to do it. I left my old one. So now this is my original, so it will change. So that part's okay. So that part's done. It's time to go into our beginning of our maps US config folder. Go into placeables, click it once, right click, edit with Notepad++. We need to come in here and get it ready, because we're going to be putting stuff in here. We need to get this information up here. So we need to then go to the main game, and just get back to the main game, how the path, Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, FS25, so on and so forth. Data, Maps US, config, placeables, one click, right click, edit Notepad++. Come into here to the top, and you'll see the train system. You're going to click right here. Left click, hold down, drag over and up to here. See where the 00 thing is? All that whole line. Right click and click copy. And then you can, if you opened your placeables of your map, and you know that's the right one, this is the 15, then you can click right next to it. If not, go back to your map, go to your placeables folder, right click, edit with Notepad++. Bring this one in here at the top. Come up here and click right there and hit enter. Then you're going to right click here and click paste. And now you're going to see I got 2, because I'm going to be showing you what to do. You're going to need to change the front of this to your right path, and you're going to leave that $sign there because you're going to need it. And then the rest of this you got to get rid of, the data part, so just highlight it. You're going to write map dir, dir, lowercase 4, and then you write hit shift 4, which will make it a $sign, and then leave the forward slash. Then you're going to figure out what's your next part. Maps US, whatever your path is to your train station system. So mine is, if I go back, mine would be the map US and then the train system, and yours might be the placeable one. So if yours is the placeable one, I can't even find placeables. There it is. If yours was this, then you need to go that path to the XML. So maps US, placeables, train system, XML. So whatever your path is, okay? So mine is maps US, train system, XML. So that's what I would have put. But if yours was the other, like we had put the placeables, we could swap this one, cut it, put it over here, paste it. Then it would be map dir. Then we'd still have to add right here, we'd still have to add maps, backspace, my bad, forward slash, map dir, maps US, placeables, train system, and then train system.xml. See the zeros? That's why you left it at 0. Okay? Then this has the picture, remember? The picture, so it's got that for the train. Alright? And if you hadn't changed it, obviously, then it's the same. Now, that's all that would need to be done. Mine is this, so I'm leaving it, so I'm going to delete this one. But you're going to leave yours and hit save. I'm deleting that because I don't need it. And then I'm just going to click here and get that back and hit save again. Now we need to go get something else. We need to get the other thing to do with the selling station. So go to, if you need to your end game, and go to the placeables, and then hit edit with Notepad++, and go down your list until you find the selling station thing. And let me see. I was going to look at something. Okay, everything's good there. As soon as you see selling station train, here it is. As soon as you find that, grab that whole line and even the green if you want the selling station little, it's just telling what it is. Right click and hit copy. Now go back, don't cut it, that's your main game, you don't want to lose it. Go back to your map or click back, straight back to it, however you need, just get there till you can, to your placeables. Right click, edit with Notepad++. You could put it at the top, you could put it wherever. I think I had put mine down here, there's mine. Put it wherever. If you want to put it at the bottom, hit enter. Put it at the bottom. If you want to put it at the top, you need to click at the end of this one here, enter, put it up there. Wherever you want, don't matter. Right click, paste, there it is. Change the path. $, map dir, $, / and then whatever your path is to your selling station train. So you would go back to your map again. I know it's a lot of back and forth, but that's what you got to do if you don't remember your path. I'm just showing you so that you'll know how to find it. So open this, and then that's your path. Maps US, placeables, selling station train.xml. Wherever you had put yours. Whatever your path is. It could be different than this. Alright? And so but you do have to have the $, map dir, which is map dir, $ again, / and then put the maps US, all that here. Okay, and then it would be gotten rid of all that, and it would have all this, and leave all that, and leave all the rest of that. And then your train system icon will show that, the cell thing, and then this will be your zeros that I told you to make sure you left at 0, and that's what made the difference. Then hit save. So I'm going to delete this one because I don't need it. You're going to hit save and leave it. I'm gonna delete the train thing too. I'm just going to backspace and then backspace and hit save. Now that part's done. Alright, so now we still need to do the store items. So go back to your map, go to store items in the config folder, and then right click, edit with Notepad++. If you did like me and you brought them all in, it's already here. So then you're happy. But you still need to change the path because you put it in your map. So it needs to be maps US, and whatever your path is to your XML of your train system. So mine was maps US, train system XML for that one, and the other one was maps US, placeable selling station train.xml for the other one. Whatever your path is for both of them, put that. Like one's different, put different. They're both the same, put the same. If yours has placeables in that one, put that on the train system one. Whatever your path is. If it's maps XML, then train system. Whatever your path is. And then we need to come down and make sure that these are in here. So if you did bring all your main game ones in here and left them here, and this is in yours, then that's what you need, and leave it alone. You can edit these, but we're not getting into that in this video. Now, if you don't have this and you need it, go to your main game to get it. Same thing, go through your path to your farm sim where you installed it. Data, maps US config, come to store items. You could take that whole store items and put it in your map, but then you got to put it in the map XML to the path that there's store items that you put in your map, whatever you do. So then right click if you just want to get that information, edit, then just go grab it. This information for the train. Right click, copy, don't cut, and then go put it in your store item folder if you had already put one in here but it was empty, like say you had emptied it, then bring it in here, right click, edit, Notepad++, say it was empty, right click, paste, put it in, save. Got it? So depends on what you do. If you just now put your store items in your map, looking like this. Say you just dropped that store out, you went, copied that whole thing, you clicked on it, right clicked, you copied it from the main game, you come in here, hit paste, it dropped it in. Go back one to your map beginning, your map US XML, right click, edit with Notepad++, come in here and change this path to wherever you put it. Mine's in maps US config store items. Wherever you drop that store items XML is your path. So maps US, and then find config and store items. Maps US config store items XML, maps US config store items XML. Save. That's how your store items are called from there. Okay? Alright. Now, if we didn't hit save, we need to hit save. And if you changed anything in any of those things, rewrite it to the I3D of either your selling station train, if it's selling station train, or train system to your train system. Once you're saved, once you did all your XML work you just did, we're going to go in the game. Time to go in the game, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it helped you. I tried to make it quicker. I know it's a little long. Try to make it quicker so you can get it done, but you got to have these details or it's going to be a pain. If you mess up while you're laying your spline, don't panic. Just hit delete one at a time. It's very carefully and slowly till you see that it went back to a spot where it was all right. And then start hitting insert again, or just start hitting the right arrow key to get it to the very next dot that was in line, and then place it from there. Don't panic. It's a lot of work. Save every now and again, but if you save, you might have to put your arrow back to the spot you were at, so like it might move. So sometimes that can be a difficult thing. So let's get in here. I hope I didn't forget to do something with the map. I think it's fine, because that's the only one was in here, so it should be alright. I took the other one out. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. It's going to take a second to load, so bear with me. But I appreciate everybody. Smash the like button for Farming Simulator 25 and our train system working. You're going to get to see it. You've already seen it on my map, but you're going to get to see it on your map. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to elaborate further, but hopefully this helps. There's videos out there, but sometimes it's just, I try to make videos for my particular group of people, trying to help people understand. So I hope this helps. A train can be a painful thing. But if you once you get it down pat, you got it. Shouldn't be too much longer, hopefully. Stay tuned for more map making. I'm trying to get it going and get the XML work done so we can move on to other things. I need to start getting the road system in, and then eventually the waterfall, and at the end the water. Of course the trees are going to be probably a little later too, because it's not as important to me, because they're not that big a deal. But so far so good. Once we get all the main stuff done and we figure out where all the water's definitely going to be molded to, and we have it laid out, we'll be able to do the water, get that over with. So we're moving in the right direction, trying to do a little more on it. But I'm hopefully helping y'all get your map done, because y'all can work on yours at a different rate, because y'all don't have to record your map. So I try not to work on it unless I'm recording it to teach y'all. Alright, hurry up. We're waiting. There we go. Alright, let's get on into the game when it's finished. There we go. Hop in there. Get in the game. Go see what we got here. Let's find out what's going on. Here's our railroad thing, but let's see what we got. This is the little thing that kicks us out, and look what it says. Train to JPV. Now, I didn't change the picture, but I showed it to you. As far as I know, I showed it in this video, and you could change it as long as you do it the right way and the right size, and save it into that file. So that should, you could change that. And then this one over here, same thing, train to JPV. And I'm assuming that when the train takes me and kicks me, there's the train. See it? You can see it working perfectly. It came this way. It's going to do its little thing. And then it's going to, once we ride it, we'll be able to come here and sell stuff. And then I'll show you what it says when I do that. So let's go on and get to the place we need to be so that we don't lose out on the train. It's going to be coming that way. I don't want to. I better go ahead and call the train so we make sure it stops when it gets here. So here's our little icon. That's what you should see. And again, you didn't have to put it in this spot. I just do it. I like it. So hit R, and it says rented, return rented train. So that means if we was to hit R again, it would just return the train and not do it. So right now the train is rented, and it's going to be coming across there. We'll be able to see it once it gets off of there. But typically you got trees or something, so the clip distance on the train, it doesn't show you the train till it starts getting about right here. So it's going to go across the bridge. Now if we was closer, we'd see it, but we're pretty far away. And then we don't have any trees or anything on the map, buildings much. So that would help block some of the views. But we're fixing to see the train coming. There it goes. It starts showing up when the clip distance gets where it's in the right range. And you're going to watch that train come on around. It's going to come right around. See it turning? It's doing all the stuff. It's going to come right up here to this and stop. And we got to get over here a little bit to get to the where it lets us get on the train. But I'll stop over here so we can see it. Beautiful. And it's going to stop perfectly. Nicely. And then we go get on right here. So you hop in right here with E, and then you can hit N to open that, and then you need to hit G to go to your very first one on your train. Look up there, it looks like a tractor, but it's considering it the train is the first compartment or wagon. And now if you have the Power Tools thing or Easy Developer, but in this case Power Tools, because my Easy Developer conflicts with my recording button. So I'm going to hit 12. It's going to take a screenshot because that's also a screenshot. And then you're going to hit OK for the fill vehicle. Then it's going to say none, empty. You could click this to go to wheat. Hit OK. Boom, we got stuff in there. We could do the same for the next one. Hit N. Or we could close that front one if we wanted to. And then we could go on to the next one by hitting G. And then hitting N. And then you could hit F12 again. Fill it up. We could put barley. Hit OK. Now we got barley and so on. You could keep doing that. You can see the wheels, how they are. And you can see mine's a little lower here. You can look at your train wheels that way. Test to see how good you did. I got it pretty much on there, so it's a little lower. But I don't want to redo it. I had to redo it twice. The second time. The first time I had it much better, but it didn't work because of the spline didn't work. But you can change it if you have to move your spline a little bit, but just make sure you re-export it again with files to overwrite the file. So now we're going to head on. And then one more thing, if you don't hit G, if you don't have the right compartment, see that back there, that compartment, I got the last one, and if I was to hit F12 and I hit to fill the vehicle, it says no valid fill units or whatever it said. And that's just because we had that one on a trailer that's not meant to fill. So don't panic, just go hit G till you get to the right one, which would be the two in the front, and then potentially, I don't know if the third one will fill. It might be something else. So we're going to go ahead and go drive that train. You can check the wheels on the tracks. Let me back up to a wheel. You can see how it's going to roll. See? So however your spline is how it's going to roll. So mine's slightly over, then it shifted, then it kind of got better. It kind of shifted again, however I laid it. Now the second one I laid, this one that you see now, I was fed up with it. So I didn't care where it landed. I mean, I laid it in the middle as best I could, but as you can see, it's not, you can't tell it unless you get up on it. Okay, if you're not up there looking, you're not going to be looking at the wheels. But you need to get your spline in that center, or you're going to have it jump like that. That's not jumping too much. You can see how that's going, and it would have went right under there if you'd had it at the right level, so make sure you do. You can see it follows these curves. See those bars are down, telling it what to do. See, I still got to fix them. You see that it was only one. It's going across the bridge. The boat's good. You can see the height. So that part's good. You can see how nicely it's going. It looks good from here. So as long as you get it pretty close, I wouldn't worry if it jumps over a little bit here or there. Don't worry about all that. You can see it wiggling just a little, and then it gets back on track. That's just the camera angle. You can see that one's pretty good right there. That wheel. You can see it following it. And you can tell it's pretty decent. So just watch it like that, and you should be all set. And then it's going to follow it wherever you laid that spline, whatever train track you put it on. So make sure you put it on the right train track. If you have two next to each other, pick the right one, the correct one. Whichever one is the one you needed it. Like watch this, it's going to turn up here. You got these bars just went down. I don't know if y'all could see them. The bars just now went down. It's got the bell ringing. All of that worked. Even though I got to redo it, you can tell it works right now. There's the other boat. I just stuck there for looks till I do it. Now this is going to jump over, because that's where I put my spline, just for the look, so it would do something. And then it curves around, and it's coming down. So you can see it's good enough. It ain't got to be perfect. Don't panic if it's not. As long as it's close enough, ain't nobody gonna care too much about a little jumping over here or there. And if they do, don't worry about it. If it's your map for you, who cares? Now you can come in here and hit C and look out at all this. You can watch and you see we're fitting to go down the hill. And you can look out. And then once you're coming around here, you're coming down, down, down. Across that bridge. And that XML makes this bridge show up with the sawmill. So if the bridge ain't there, it's because the XML ain't for the, you didn't put the XML for the sawmill. That little wooden bridge at that spot. And there we go. Going across the water again. Again, make sure your bridges are high enough that the boats can go under it on your train track before you lay your train track. If you don't, you're gonna have problems. Now your train's going up a hill again. As you can see, it's climbing that old hill. Chugga-lugga-lugga. Now it's going across here. There went the arm. It went down. Jumped over to the other side of the track for fun. It's going to jump back. Watch those arms. They're going down. They just went down. I don't know if y'all could see it in the distance, but they did. They just went down. They weren't down, and then they went down. And see, there's those arms are down. The bells are dinging. We could sell stuff here if we wanted. Well, not with the train, I don't think, but with the other thing you could. And then here's this. We got to add a bridge here. The waterfall is going to be back there. You'll be able to see it from here, right up there. And then we're heading to sell, and then we'll be done. The train, that'll be how you do the train. And I hope it helped somebody. You got to follow everything really carefully and really slowly, and the spline can be a pain. I still got stuff to set places, but I'm not worried about all that. I got to mold all this. I'm not done. I just had to get that train track in there. I ain't even painted the rocks down or nothing. So there's a lot more work to be done. These things are for roads. I just moved them off the track because I don't have a road there, and I'll deal with them later. I got to smooth all those little bumps out and get it all situated. Now it's going to kick me out. Watch the wheat and barley. It's going to kick me out right there. It says, do you want to sell to JPV? It took away the gold crest because I put it at the top where I said I wasn't sure. Then it tells me you can put whatever name you want. If you got another map name, set it there. Whatever you got. Do you want to sell it? Hit yes. Sells the stuff. So it is that spot that I showed you in the XML for to put your name and not Goldcrest there. And if you change that picture I showed you, then that picture you saw on the other area here would be whatever picture you put. So if you got a picture of another map, you need to make it the same size as this one. It's 512 or whatever, and put it over that picture, save it, and then it'll put that picture. It'll have that picture and it'll have this. But you would have to call in the XML when you put that placeables XML in there and it had that PNG for going to the main game. You would have to change that path and put your picture in your map, and then change that path. Copy that line, put the path to your picture so it would call your picture and not the in-game one. But anyway, that's it. That's the train system. That's how you do it. I hope you enjoyed. I guess we're going to go ahead and call that a video. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. But I'm going to catch you on the next one. Please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification every time I post a video. Goodbye, everybody.